Hello, today is quite a short one and something that I don't normally do. We're looking at one particular pellet that has just been launched. It's in its early stages and you can get them in 0.22. Are they any good and are they worth it? Well, today we're going to be looking at the new Hades from JSB. Hello and welcome to AAR on Air. We're out in the studio in the log cabin and it's as hot as Hades, so if I look a little bit flustered and rather warm, you know why. But it doesn't stop, so on with the show. In the past I've tested lots of different types of pellets and found most of the fancy shaped ones to be, well, wanting. At best, they were not as accurate as the standard quality domed Diablos. At worst, they were absolutely useless and couldn't hit an A4 target from 40 metres at all. And they were marked as hunting pellets. Don't believe me? Take a look at the review I did many moons ago. So, when I was handed a tin of Hades pellets, I must admit I was sceptical to say the least. Now the regulars amongst you know I do most of my testing with JSB pellets, and before anyone suggests anything about being in the pockets of manufacturers, I don't get them given to me. I buy them, lots of them in bulk, to try and save a little, because I get through loads in the tests I do. And I use them because they are pretty standard and consistent, good quality, and they also suit most guns. Not all, but most. Now I could use a dozen different types each review to find which is the best and most accurate. But don't forget that would only prove they suit the barrel of the gun I was testing. And that can change from barrel to barrel, even from the same manufacturer. But anyway, these Hades, as I say, I wasn't expecting much, and indeed I left them in the drawer for quite some time. But then I thought, if I'm doing a test on pellet lube, which I've just been doing, I should give these a go whilst I was doing that. So, here are my thoughts. Firstly, what makes them special enough to be given the name of the god of the underworld? Surely that intimates they are a hunting pellet that are going to send your chosen quarry off to the afterlife in double quick time. Always assuming they're accurate enough for you to hit it, that is. Let's have a look at them. They're here in the .22 caliber form, and maybe they will bring more calibers out if they are successful. Well, they are of a standard dome type, basic shape, and are also exactly the same weight as the standard JSB Diablos at 15.89 grains. And surprisingly, when I weighed them, they were indeed very close to that weight throughout the tin, which is unusual because pellets can vary quite a lot. They have that odd shape cut into the top, which means, of course, they're nuclear tipped for that ultimate finish to your quarry. Naturally, these need to be kept in a lead-lined tin at the bottom of a 4-foot concrete bunker when you're not using them. Okay, it's the shape given to them to ensure they spread more on impact to give maximum damage and ensure a quick dispatch. Not that this is a new idea, because lots of companies have done lots of things to their pellets over the years, with varying levels of success and failure. All this means to me is they are promising two things now. So, can they hit anything without shooting off anywhere and everywhere? And assuming they can get close to the intended quarry, do they actually spread and cause more damage and shock to the quarry, making that quick, clean dispatch? It's at this point I need to apologise to JSB, because after being as sceptical as a spotty nerd being told by Miss World she loves him after she found he has the right 6 numbers on the lottery ticket, these things are really pretty accurate, time and time again, and in several different powered guns, sub 12 foot-pounds and 40 foot-pound FAC. I thought it was quite impressive stuff over 40 metres, and even more impressive considering in the FAC I normally shoot 18 grain plus, and yet these were still bang on target without even changing the scope at all. They were in fact firing as fast as 1,015 feet per second, and normally anything over 1,000 feet per second starts to spin off uncontrollably. What about damage then? Well, I compared the Hades with the standard 15.89 Diablo from a 12 foot-pound day-state pulsar, and apart from the fact the Hades were more accurate than the standard JSBs, certainly in this, it did spread more on impact, which would cause more damage, which is exactly what the second claim of these pellets was. I used some Play-Doh for the initial soft tissue type tests. But both standard and Hades went cleanly through. Then I noticed the backstop, which clearly showed more deformation of the Hades and less penetration than the standard domed pellet. Now, whilst this isn't scientific, and I admit it, and though it's not being shot through expensive ballistic gel or the like, it was pretty clear it was doing its job. Then a closer inspection of the pellets also showed the Hades had indeed opened up more, which would result in a higher shock to the quarry, with less penetration, more damage on the inside. As I've already mentioned, these tests were done in the sub 12 foot-pounds and higher powers that would be available in other countries or on an FAC licence in the UK. They were, however, only done over 40 metres, and I didn't push them out to greater distances. I filmed some of the target work and did some off camera. In fact, I did loads and loads and loads of different target work. The ones off camera, I think they're pretty tight groups in anybody's books. It has been a long time since I was this impressed from a pellet, especially a fancy shaped pellet. They really don't float my boat normally. They are, however, accurate and they do more damage on impact. But more than that, they're even more than suitable for my FAC 40 foot-pound 2.2 hunting rifle and will be the standard fit in its magazine from now on. I would suggest that you get some and try them, and please let me know what you think. As for me, well, I'm going to be getting my hands on quite a few more of these just in case they decide they didn't get enough interest to continue production, because it's not like that sort of thing hasn't happened before. Yes, I was that impressed. Thanks for watching.